welcoming everybody, thanking everyone for joining us here tonight. I mean, look at this room. So many beautiful and well-dressed people with us here tonight. Greetings also to those from the world of print. Lighten up. Tonight is a celebration of professional journalism, or as my 10-year-old nephew calls it, just like listicles, but boringer. I do just want to emphasize one thing right off the bat. I know there's some people in this room who really worry about these things, so let me make it perfectly clear. It's about me. I am contractually obligated to be speaking here this evening for free. Thank you. And that's not all. The CBC, in its wisdom, and you know it has wisdom, it made me change my normal first-class travel and instead ordered me to use the backup helicopter. Very uncomfortable seats in that machine. But one thing that hasn't changed is my salary. It's still exactly the same as we told Parliament last year. It's $80,000 a year. This is award season for many in the media. A couple of weeks ago, we had the National Newspaper Awards. Vinay Menon is here tonight from the Toronto Star. He won one of the awards. Partly for his brilliant profile of a young national news anchor. Used to be young. On Friday night, it's the National Magazine Awards. And next week, we've got the Broadcast Awards for Most Overdone Dramatic Pause. I, for one, am honored to be nominated. By the way, I've been instructed by the organizers of tonight's event to let you know that it actually is okay now for you to begin your appetizer. I can hear that some of you didn't need that explanation. Please enjoy it. After all, this is a special evening, an evening for which no expense has been incurred. Seriously, times are tough. Everything you're eating tonight was found in the fridge when they cleaned out Sun TV. Now, I do want to address one controversial issue this evening. There are some who feel that this annual gathering of ours is the exclusive plaything of the Toronto elite, that this gala attracts a snooty and restrictive club that actively shuns and ignores those from other regions of the country. So the good news is the message is getting out. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the 25th anniversary of the CJF. Isn't that amazing? Now, I'm sure that many of you remember, 1990 was a big year for Canada. The Meech Lake Accord was reached. Jean Chrétien was chosen to lead the Liberal Party. And Craig Oliver turned 100. Now, you know, I joke about my friend Craig, but believe it or not, I'm getting up there too. At the Remembrance Day ceremony in Ottawa each year, more and more people keep asking me what unit I was with on D-Day. I'll tell you this, journalism was a very different business back in the day. A quarter century ago, we couldn't Google the facts or check breaking news on Twitter. I'm ashamed to say there were some of us who didn't even know about the existence of side boob. Use Google, you'll find out what it is. Back then, before cell phones, you'd spend all afternoon trying to find a source. And you know what they say? Those sources, they're always in the last bar you look. This year, some news outlets became the news makers, not the CBC, where everything went very smoothly and we could all hold our heads high. But over at CTV, it was a different story. Bell Media president Kevin Kroll tried to intervene in Bob Fife's coverage of the CRTC's pick and pay ruling. Bob was not going to stand for that. So he spoke truth to power. He told Kroll in no uncertain terms, the only way we bury stories around here is by putting them on CTV News Channel. Now, look, CTV isn't alone in the world of small audiences for news channels. At CBC, we're doing everything we can to keep our advertisers on board. You know, for example, just last week, I bought a reverse mortgage and a walk-in tub. The point is, it's been a time of change across our industry. On the print side, Andrew Coyne quit Twitter. Mind you, he then came back to Twitter. Such a roller coaster of emotions. Meanwhile, we've seen a number of unlikely partnerships struck up in the media. Rogers and Vice reached a $100 million deal to create a major new production studio. Now, this should be a stressful time for Rogers CEO Guy Lawrence, but ever since meeting with Shane Smith, he's been surprisingly chill about everything. Guy's last speech to employees was just a list of Doritos flavors. Rogers also made a huge deal with the CBC. They'll get Hockey Night in Canada. We'll get, actually, I'll get back to you on that. In other news, Postmedia bought Sun News in what's being called a brilliant business move by Paul Godfrey. The next big change is that BuzzFeed is coming north of the border. And you won't believe what happens next.